Hi, students. I want to continue our video series. So this will be our second video of the series explaining your data analysis project assignments that you will do complete throughout this semester. I'm going to share my screen with you so we can go ahead and go to Blackboard. Here we're in our home page, and I have clicked on the DAP Dataset and Supporting Articles link. In the first video, you can see here, I explained the demonstration materials, and now I'm going to move on to the data set for your data analysis project. And I'm going to explain this briefly and explain the importance of replication in the field of psychology and behavioral sciences. It is important, and one of the current psychological research goals in our field is to enhance or improve upon replication studies. We have many studies that have occurred over many years that have enhanced our field, so we can improve the way that we parent, improve the way that we interact with our clients, improve the prison system. However, if only one researcher or research team is able to develop this research without a large number of other researchers replicating this finding, it kind of calls that finding into question. The Association for Psychological Science has made a large call for researchers to replicate past research. And with that, many researchers now, when they publish a research article, will also publish their data set. And why do they publish their data set? They publish their data set so other researchers could possibly run the same analysis on the same data set with the goal of getting the same outcome. With replication studies being of interest and possibly published, we can have an elevated sense of veracity of the research findings and the meaning of what these findings mean. So, the Data in Brief is a journal that publishes data sets that support research articles. And in 2016, Dr. Ponce Garcia and myself published a manuscript evaluating the effectiveness of the scale of protective factors while comparing it to several other commonly used resilience measures. That includes the Connor-Davidson Resilience Scale, the Resilience Scale, and then also the Life Stressor Checklist Revised. It's understood in the study of human resilience, we can't really assess if someone is resilient if we don't understand what kind of stressors or trauma that they have occurred in their lifestyle. So we have, within this data set, we have many different questions that are asked, and you can go to the demonstration materials to see all the specific questions. But I wanted to explain to you that Data in Brief is a journal that just publishes data. And in this link, you will see there's two files. One file says Madewell, Ponce Garcia, and Martin, 2016, DIB. DIB stands for Data in Brief, .pdf. If we open this document, it's going to be the article that explains the data set. You're probably going to want to read through this when developing your data analysis post. It's short, it's sweet, and it will tell you a short summary of what data was collected. As we can see, it's just a few pages long. Please take time to read that. Underneath that file, we have DIB. What does that stand for? Data in Brief. It's the journal where the data set is published. Early adulthood sample. Early adulthood in this research is set at the parameters of anyone between the ages of 18 to 25. 451 describes the sample size. We collected data from students that were attending Southeastern Oklahoma State University, Cameron University, and Oklahoma State University. totaling 451 students. This file also includes a codebook. If I ask you to download the data set and select items of interest, I would expect that you would open this Excel file. An Excel file is denoted by a file type of .xls, X or XLS. Let's go ahead and open this together. We open the data set, it puts us right here in the middle of the data set. Lots of numbers, lots of rows, lots of columns. What I'd like for you to do is find this toolbar, the scroll bar on the right hand side, and let's go ahead and scroll all the way up to the top. Then if we want to, if you'll grab the horizontal scroll bar at the bottom, let's go ahead and scroll that all the way to the left. Now we can see column header A, row header 1. Our columns are alphabetical in A, B, C, D, E, F, G order, and each column is indicative of a question or a variable that we included in our research study. What university did you attend? What was their ID number? RS1, RS2, these indicate a question that was asked. If we look at rows going across, the first row is it's our labels for what item we gave each person, our variable list. But our row 2 is the very first person who completed our study. Each row in our Excel document is the answers from a real person. And we won't give names to these individuals. They have an ID number. But we know that every answer, if we follow starting at column A, and we go to row 2 and move across columns, all of these answers are from the same person. So then we can look across the data set and get a better understanding of how that person's life has been for them, how resilient they are, what kind of life stressors they've experienced, just to get a better understanding of them. Now, let's scroll down to the bottom of our Excel document. There are many tabs down here. We see the data in brief, early adulthood sample, 451 people. Let's go ahead and click on this second tab, which opens our code book. Every researcher will benefit by creating a code book that can explain your data set. So it's very important that you get used to this one. You might create a code book that looks a little bit different, could include more or less information. But this code book allows you to share your data with another researcher, and that researcher would then be able to understand your coding. They could go ahead and complete your analyses and try to improve replication or improve communication. So if we look at this data and brief dataset codebook, it explains the items, the scale name, the referencing article for where we obtained the questions used, and how it was coded. And the coding is of most importance. Let's see. Then let's go back to the tabs down at the bottom. If you've noticed the LSCR tab, let's click on that and open up to see the life stressor checklist items. Again, are included here. They're also in the demonstration materials in a Word document, but here they're in this Excel document. Makes it nice and tidy. You can click back and forth, and if you wanted to choose a different stressor and you weren't for sure which one, you could easily just, instead of going back to your Word document or looking for the life stressor checklist revised measure on Google Scholar, you could easily just see which item you might be of interest, We also have the CD-RIS questions and the scale of protective factor, questions and coding. Well, I will wrap up this video. The purpose of this video was to explain, I'll go back to Blackboard, is to explain the dataset content. This PDF first document is a summary that I composed to explain the dataset. And the dataset is also explained within the dataset in the codebook. Please spend some time getting acclimated with this material. And again, please come visit me in office hours. We can Zoom and or you can meet with the statistics and APA tutor. Thank you.